fixing to get our sunlight back.
That was that in-fisherman show, right?
Oh, did he get him? Nope, swing and a miss. Watch him get about 10 feet up and go and shake. There he goes.
Yep. Drying off.
Well, welcome to this episode of Addictive Fishing. I'm your host, Capt Blair Wiggins, and we're up in our backyard again, up in the very, very north end of Mosquito Lagoon. We're with Capt Bryan Pahmeier. We're gonna hopefully catch some redfish and trout today. It's winter time, it's tough fishing. The fog's finally burning off. We were fishing a little bit earlier and the fog, man, it was kind of eerie looking. It was real thick and we tried, had our good coats on and stuff. So we're gonna give it a shot here and hopefully show you a fish from the very north end of Mosquito Lagoon. Y'all stay tuned to this episode of Addictive Fishing. We'll be right back.
Hopefully we should have a good topwater bite with this overcast we have.
It's definitely a little overcast.
Yep.
Man, this fog is just, we're getting fixing to get socked in again. It's rolling on in. Winter fishing. You gotta love it. The water's nice and clear today.
Yeah, it's this time of year, the water's really, really clean up here. Sight fishing can be great because of that. It should be probably about 5 or 6 inches lower than what it is for this time of year. It's kind of unusually a little high.
We've had a northeast wind blowing for 15 weeks this winter, just holding the water up here in the lagoon, so hadn't had a chance to drain out like it normally does.
Okay, I thought I just saw one tip up there at 12, for like 90 yards or so up in front of us.
Tip up. Well, let me give you a scenario what happened. We were going from point A to point B, trying to get out of this fog a little bit, and we came across a school of redfish, just happened to bump them up. It was an accidental thing, but we found them. Now stay tuned, we'll see if we can get them. You find that the fish up here are more of a tidal influence fish, more than like a moon bite or a saloon or table bite?
Not a whole bunch right in here. When you get a little bit closer to the inlet, you'll notice a bigger difference on the tidal flow when that triggers a bite. But down here, it tends to, have more to do with what the conditions of the day are like. It can fluctuate from day to day.
There gotta be a runner somewhere.
Yeah, they didn't go too far. They just don't want to show themselves right at the second.
There they are, right here. That's
Good
it,
shot.
ain't it? That's it. Come on, dude, come on. Fish
There
on,
you go, buddy.
That looks like a big fish, too. Oh, Lordy.
Big old redfish in the fog.
You almost wonder, what have I got myself into? Especially when you see that big old hump come up like that. Well, as y'all can tell, it's still foggy. And we were going from point A to point B, and as we got out here, we came across this school of redfish.
Look, you can see the rest of the school out here still milling around. That's a good fish, man. See all the water that school humped up when you first hooked them?
Yeah.
They were pushing.
Every time I wanted to come to Mosquito Lagoon, I always wanted to catch, a keeper-sized redfish, so I always fish for the big fish in the Indian River. But no matter where I'm fishing in my backyard, as you can tell, it's winter time, so we're doing what we know what we can do best to bring you a good show. And let's come after some of these good redfish here on the Space Coast. Ah, it's a nice fish. I love the way always that bait buster slides up on the line, so.
Yeah, he crushed it.
It doesn't get hammered. The only bad thing that happens when you do that is that when you go through a school, if he swims through a school, a lot of times another fish come up and eat that bait buster that comes up the line and will bust your line. It's always like using a long leader. Oh, this is a feisty little redfish. But I'm gonna go ahead and put the power pole down. You can hop down if you want. Let me get this power pole. That's a nice fish. Y'all gonna like this one. We kind of got lucky on this fish because we were going from point A to point B, and as you can see, it's still foggy. Luckily, we had the Ray Marine going and see where we're going. And we came across this school, and wow, hey, I thought this fish a little bigger than we thought.
I think some of the ones in that school were bigger than him.
Well, let's go see if we can find one or two.
Go get his big sister.
That is a nice redfish.
Nice fish.
Nice, brother.
Good deal, man.
So from point A to point B, come across.
He crushed that bait buster.
Yeah, he did. There we go. Got the bait buster out. And we got us a nice redfish. Look at that beautiful redfish on a foggy morning. You get a good shot of the light on that one? Look at the tail lit up on this fish. See what I mean by that tail lighting up to blue?
Good deal.
He's all lit up. What do you think? 14 pounds?
Yep, real close.
Close to that.
Real close.
Beautiful fish. Back in the water you go. And off. Ow, ow. I'm getting you back in. You ain't got to bite me like that. I'll have to fight another day if you come fish here with Capt Bryan. It's a nice fish, ain't it? You know, a lot of times you see people go back and forth like this with a fish. I try not to do that because the lactic acid builds up in their fillets here. If you kind of go in a natural swimming motion like this, it kind of keeps them limber enough, and then when they're ready to kick off, they usually just kick. And off he goes. You know, a lot of times those redfish, when you release them like that, they'll kind of go ooh, and kind of be real lethargic, and you just touch them and bam, they'll take off.
Good job, man.
Appreciate it. And we're gonna go to break. Y'all stay tuned, we'll be right back with some more addictive fishing and redfish from the Space Coast. Well, welcome back. The fog's lifted. It's getting warm. The fish are in front of us. We're gonna catch them. Hang on. Where'd they go? Hold on a minute, I met them. Well, what we've done now, we've changed locations. We've come way to the south end of the lagoon. There's a good southeast wind blowing, and what it's gonna do is gonna kind of set this water in here. What these redfish will do is get up on this grass and just kind of sit there and warm up, and hopefully they'll eat this little DOA cow that I got. All it's gonna take is finding one now. Where are you, little redfish? There's a fish. Well, here he comes, here he comes.
Still got him?
Oh, he ate it right there.
There you go, good job,
Nice
man.
fish.
Good job.
Nice fish. That is a stud redfish right there, brother. Like I was talking earlier, sometimes, oh, by the way, welcome back. Sometimes you're fishing these schools and they're the hardest fish in the world. You have 500 redfish around the boat and you can get so frustrated because they're all around the boat and you don't want to leave because they're just everywhere. And then all of a sudden you come up around fish the potholes. Luckily, Fish Boy was down here and he said, you know, come fish the potholes. If you work them real slow, you'll find a lot of single fish and there are a lot of good sized fish. So where do we get this guy on the boat?
There's a submerged stick down here in the water, Blair.
Okay, I see him.
Don't let him get in that.
This is a stud redfish, brother. This is one of them ones you really want for them FLW tournaments. We'll put down the power pole here. I don't want to lose this position because we're in a great spot. We got about 400 more feet of shoreline, hopefully about 30 or 40 more redfish. But like I was saying, this redfish, we were coming up on him and all I saw was just a little green fringe and all of a sudden he just like appeared out of nowhere. That's a nice little stud red there, bro.
Good fish.
You know, like I was saying, oh, that is a pretty redfish. Like I was saying, the schools sometimes can be the hardest, and he took that cow away. But they can be the hardest to get to eat out of the schools. I'll tell you what. Ah, that's a beautiful redfish. Look at even his tail. Oh, there he goes. Even his tail was still lit up. Well, that was a good long run down here to find these fish. So let's do another one. I'll put another cowtail on him. And let's see. Ouch. Man, these boxes are tough.
Oh, he scarfed that thing up.
Yeah, he did. 2 twitches and he was all over it. You know, I think what they're doing, they're sitting up here getting warm, and if they hear anything, and I say this, another thing I say in my seminars, this kind of resembles a shrimp or a little injured fish on the water. And I don't care if you're fishing freshwater, saltwater, blue water, green water, black water, wherever you're fishing, all you're trying to do is imitate an injured fish, something to get these fish's attention when they're up here sunning, or, you know, if they're anywhere, you know, anywhere, no matter what water you're fishing, you're just trying to imitate what they're used to eating. And I guess they're used to eating these DOA cows because he jumped all over that one.
Smashed it.
Let's get some Wonker sauce on it. See if we can get another one to eat just like that one. They are eating this little dude up.
That's like one of my favorite colors out here. That root beer with a chartreuse tail.
Yeah, about like red and white is for snook. Or red and white's always a good color for snook. Root beer and chartreuse always a good color for redfish. That up there, this bait.
Saw a mullet jump out there a minute ago.
What was that? Pinfish. I've always said, you know, even when a little pinfish come up, bump it like that. That Power Pro is so sensitive. I always said you can feel a fish look at your lure a lot of times. Not really, but you know what I mean.
There's a good stretch of sandy potholes coming up here in front of us.
It does look like some good bottom. Sometimes you don't even see them sitting in the potholes. Oh, you can see something. Yep, there he is. I thought I saw one there. Go ahead and stake us. There you go. Thought I saw one sitting there. He was like a mystery fish. I said, is that a mullet? Is that a redfish? Twitch, twitch, bam, redfish.
When in doubt, cast to it, right?
That's it. When in doubt, whip it out. Oh, come on, baby. God, you gotta love it when they're just sitting there. The Gallo schools got me frustrated earlier.
Yeah, that was a little bit irritating.
We made 80 good presentations right into those fish. You know, just school after school after school coming around the boat. We get here and within just a few minutes after poling down, we haven't even moved 100 yards. Here we are, fish number 2 off of this spot. You can't beat it. Fishing in your own backyard in the wintertime. We've had a trying time this year. There's my other grub tail. Dang gummit. Come on.
He doesn't want to give it back to you. He likes it so much.
These eagle claws, man, when they grab a hold, they grab a hold. Beautiful redfish. Come on out of here, dude. Tell you what, I'm glad we made the move to come down here. It was probably about a 15-mile run that we had to come down here and get up here to do this.
Good job, man.
It was a good run. It was a good choice to come up here. So y'all stay tuned. We'll be right back. Some more redfish from the south end of Mosquito Lagoon. Ton of mullet in here. Well, like I say, once they see you, man, it's all over. That's about an 8-pound trout. So we work our way down there, let the water warm up. No rush. The mullet are still hanging on the bottom. Really want one of them 10-pound studs that's about 26.5 inches long. That was a trout there. There it is, red.
Keep moving.
Yeah, he's gone. I'd say keep moving.
Tried to stop us. I saw him kick out of that hole there.
There he is, right there, brother.
Good job, man.
Oh, you're coming to me. Oh.
I saw that fish stop and turn and look at your bait. It's like, hey, I want to eat that, slurp.
I tell you what, it is so hard to get them to eat when you're chasing them with it, because it's just not, you know, natural for a little bait this big to be jumping after a fish. It's just something that don't happen in the natural world. But that's probably why he said, hey, that ain't natural, I'm gonna eat it. Come on, dude. Every one of them.
Multi-spotter.
Beautiful fish. Looks like they're all eating well and they're all good and healthy. You're not gonna take my stiffy away. If I can grab you here. Come on, dude. I don't like lipping them too much because they scrape you or they hook you. Golly, that hurt. This little redfish. Get out of here, dude. Ow. I tell you, fish are lucky they don't have feeling. That was a sharp hook. Time to rig up another little DOA, and while I'm down here, I'm gonna go ahead and do the bait check today. We've been using a multitude of stuff. What we've been using since we got back down to this area down here has been the little DOA, just like the little fluke tail, rigging it up with just a little 1/8 ounce jig head. Have a 20-pound, just a little trace leader here with my 10-pound Test Power Pro. Got a 7-foot stiffy rod and a little tiny reel. Just something I really play with these fish, real good. We're throwing the bait buster on them earlier. Also the Mogan spoon, getting a couple hits here and there. But it says sometimes when you're on a lot of fish like we were today, they just don't want to eat, and you're on a ton of fish, and you just get so frustrated. We finally just had to go ahead and leave. And we're picking up potholes. This is something I like to do anyway. Just we got the wind being our friend today, pushing us along the flat. We're going along and just seeing the little potholes, and you see the fish down in there, toss to them, twitch, twitch, bam, fish on. There's your bait check for today. You can come cook. You can come cook up some redfish, but you can come book Bryan Pahmeier and catch you some redfish. Now it's back to the action. Fish on
There
right
you
there.
go. Good deal, man.
Oh, I want a big stud, but these guys are just a bunch of little rats in here. But you know what? It's winter time. We have had a tough year catching fish. But I'll tell you what, come on down, Brian. This has been a fun day. All we've caught was redfish, but like I say, it's been a fun day. And if y'all ever, that's a pretty little redfish, ain't he? Just an absolute beauty. Get on out of here. Brian, I have had one heck of a day. Like I said, all we've caught was redfish after redfish after redfish, but we started out way in the north end in a real fog, and then we came down here in the south end, and we actually had a real good day. But if y'all ever want to get a chance to do this, go to the website, say it in every show, addictivefishing.com. You'll see a picture of Brian up there with a little clip. You can come watch us over and over again right there on the website. You go right there and get the cow kits. You've been seeing us tearing them up on the cow kits. But you can go right there on the website. Book Capt Bryan. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Till next week, enjoy the music. Who knows where we'll be catching what. See you next week.